There is a doctor in the house.
I heard Mrs. B.
You heard I kicked her out the office because she's
What?
distracted. See,
I'm
look,
going
look,
back
look,
to sleep.
look. Can you close my door, please? You just came. Don't be because you hear your name. I'm running back to here. You don't leave
Good
my office.
morning, Mr. Bean.
Oh,
Good morning, Mrs. Bean.
Good morning,
That
Mrs.
is
B.
so funny. Somebody,
yeah,
can you close my
you.
door?
Great morning, great morning.
We gotta conduct
Good
business.
morning.
Good morning.
Today.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
morning.
Somebody make it rain this morning. Good morning. Who else? I heard another voice. Give me another voice. Good
Good morning. It's Anthony from Boston. Good morning.
morning, Anthony. Good morning. Glad to have you on
Roy from
board.
St. Louis.
All right. St. Louis is in the building.
Good morning,
This
Kathy
is
Jewell,
Thomas from
Houston,
Atlanta.
Texas.
This is Jewel. Welcome.
Emerson.
Let's see here.
Sabrina's in the house.
Hey, Sabrina, welcome to the call. Welcome to the call.
Jared
H-Town. Jared, welcome. H-Town is in the building.
Tamika Simpson, Houston, Texas.
Ms. Simpson, welcome to the call.
Thomas Watson, Atlanta, Georgia.
The man with all the wattage, Thomas Watson. What's going on? Got the new job done. How you like it?
Man, I love it. It looks great, man. I can't wait until you get turned on, brother.
I've never been so excited about solar in my life until I got it on my roof. I'll be pulling up. I'm like, man, that look good. They did a great job.
Yeah, I go by and look at it a lot during the day. I just go by and look at it.
You know what? And it's crazy because I was in the commercial group. I think it was somebody. I think it was a commercial group. Somebody basically said that Freedom has the signs in your yard where you can come by and scan it if you want to while they working, I guess. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go make a sign for my yard, and you can come by and scan it if you want solar. I'm gonna put it right in the yard. And because unless they say I can't have it, they're gonna have to make me pull it up first, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great idea.
I love that idea.
Excellent idea.
That is. That is.
You're
That's a
gonna
great
pull it up
idea.
because the job is over with. No, it's staying there. As long as they let me keep it there, they're gonna have to report me to, yes, to the HOA. I'm keeping it there.
I think I'm gonna make some money off your idea.
There you go. That's what
And I don't have an HOA.
That's why you come this morning. That's why you come this morning, man. That's what I'm talking about. If you got all you got something. All right. We got some other celebrities in the building. See, Mr. Ilaka is in the house. Yeah.
Sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. All the way from over the water in Africa, South Africa to be exact. Miss Victoria's in the building.
Yes.
Yeah. The silent killer, Eddie Weeks, is in the building. The silent assassin is in the house. Yeah, this is gonna be a good day here. I'm excited. We 1 week away, guys, from the big event and the next event, and which is always the biggest event. The next event is always the biggest event, and so yeah, we got 1 week beginning the next Thursday. I get in on Wednesday, and yeah, I'm fired up. I turned my training in, and you know me, I normally don't use slides, but they made me want me to use slides this time. I said, all right. So I think they want to keep that the all material learn it, so they can cut it up and send it back out, which is really cool. So but anybody fired up about the event besides me? Anybody ready to go to California?
Let's go. Let's get in the car right now.
Sir. Yes, sir. Can't
No,
wait.
that's right.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's gonna be on and popping. That's coffee,
I'm
like she
waiting.
said.
I'm excited for everybody who's gonna be able to make it up there. This time couldn't do it. That's all right though. Learn
Right.
next time.
I'm excited. I'm ready to go learn some recruiting tips that I can come back and apply and blow this up, go build a 500 and beyond.
There you go.
We gonna go recruiting while we there, doctor. we gonna practice while we there.
All right, girl. Hold me
Speaking of
accountable. Pull me with you, girl.
Let's go.
Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know in LA? Who do you know in San Diego? Who do you know? Right now, if you're not asking that question right now on social media and in your cell phone, out of your cell phones, that's where you're missing the money because I'm already asking people who do they know in California. I got 3 guests over the last 2 weeks asking people who do you know that's in LA. Introduce me to somebody, get some referrals, whatever, and got a couple of people showing up, and also the people who are in California, people who are in California, as reps, they should have a packed room. If I'm them, there's not going to be another time to have a better exposure. And I'm not even talking about the presentation they're going to do on Thursday night. I'm talking about just the training, that we're going to do, and just kind of give you guys a heads up. And this morning definitely. Well, first of all, let me do this, man. Last week, hell of a job, Idris. Last week
Yes.
that training was awesome. Last week, bro, you put it down, and I just sat back, relaxed, and enjoyed the ride. That was an amazing training, and it's we talk about something um, that it may seem simple to some people, but it was you can tell up all about all, you can see all the experience in that training. It was powerful, it was impactful. So, and it was more powerful because it was just real simple, real easy, and you put some people in a real comfortable place. So I know we're gonna have more efficient, more effective people out there in the field. So great job, bro. And guys, just like I said, we was having some more conversations yesterday with the owners, and I wanted to remind them, just like I want to remind y'all, a lot of people have never launched a company before, and it's got to be a situation where you're beating the drum, of the ground floor. Remember, we're not a year old yet, guys. It's remember they opened the company in December, and so nothing's going to be perfect. We pretty much are going to be customer service to a certain extent while they figuring everything out and while they're working out all the kinks. And if we like what was his Danny Pacheco said on his first Millionaire Mentorship call we did. Um, if people want a perfect company, come back in 2 years, right? And everything will be perfect. And everything just like it'll be great, just like you want it. But right now, um, we're a ground floor company. We're a brand new company, so we're going to make some mistakes. The thing about it is that um, we shouldn't, as a company, make the same mistake twice. Okay? And so I want to make sure that you guys know that what we're doing is unprecedented. And when people come into the company based on what they hear, what they see, the energy and everything else, they're going to automatically adopt the emotion that and the feeling that surrounds a company that's been around for a long time, and it has that feel based on professionalism. And so I want to make sure you guys continue to beat that drum, let people know, and it's okay. We're a brand new company. We're not perfect, not going to be perfect, but what we do is we try to make sure that anything that needs to be fixed, it gets fixed. And so when something happens, the person is not all up in arms, and they have some sort of understanding about where they are in this process. Okay? A lot of people, when we talk about having a ground floor experience, having a ground floor opportunity, you get a chance to launch a company. A lot of people want to be first until they know what being first means, right? There's a reason why the people who are first make the most money. There's a reason why the people who are first, who come into a company when the doors are wide open, why they have the most security, right? There's a reason why a person come into the company from nothing and no position, just a position, and can be VP of sales in 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is because there's a need, and the company needs leaders, right? And that's the most important thing. Anytime you have a company that opens its doors, I would say probably about 80% of the people who open the doors to the company in the first maybe year to 18 months won't be around in 20 years. Right? But the 20% of the people who are still around, who were the leaders, who did all the building, all the recruiting, all of the communicating with the field and helping everybody understand where they are, and went out there and built something while the company was growing, those are the people who are the wealthiest ones in the company. Yes, people who may make more money than them, but they're not more secure than them. The pioneers are always the ones that are well taken care of. Right? And so that's why the favor always goes back to the pioneers because all the things that you see now, all the people who are coming over from the apricots of the world, people who are coming over from the powers of the world, people who are coming over from the harbors of the world, they're coming over because of you. They're coming over because you are what you guys are doing, the noise that you guys are making. And I'm not talking about just our group. I'm talking about you as in the company. Like everybody in this company is contributing at this point to be a beacon of light for all the people who are in solar, who want solar done right, who want to sell solar the right way, who want to make the most money, who want to go out there and be the most impactful, who want to be around something and somebody's significant in this industry. And that's important. And so knowing that you're that guy or you're that gal that's put people in a position where they want to come to this company is attractive because of you, you got to understand that part. Every time you put something on social media and everybody realize that you or in it, on this company, you haven't quit, you kept on going, and now you're posting stuff about what you're selling, how much money you're earning. Now it's not just solar, it's water. Now it's not just water, it's security. Now it's not just security, it's whatever we actually introduce next. Then you got people's attention. This is how you go from relatively unknown in the industry to blowing up. Okay. And so when you're in this moment there, and man, I can't wait till I do my leadership boot camp. And like I said, it's going to be with the company or without them. And they just need to get on board with this one because when I do have mine, it's not going to be, a lot of people speaking. It's not going to be a whole lot of people training. It's not going to be nothing but leadership. And so that's when you'll see, what I'm saying, when it comes to the group, you'll see the corner, people turn the corner, hit that corner hard, we're going to kill it. But from a position of you being first, one thing that you want to do, and I look at the companies that make the most money, and the ones that make the most money do the most damage, especially for the subscription base. They actually go out and instead of focusing on doing a lot of recruiting and selling, they focus on selling the people who just got recruited on going and get more people right away. Like if I bring Angel on board, I got to make sure Angel doesn't just come on by herself. I need to make sure that the first thing I get Angel to do is bring 5 to 7 people, 5 to 10 people in immediately. And because what happens is, guys, when you actually get that to happening and you start to get that to bubbling up, you start getting that type of culture where a person comes in and you get that person locked in, that person's in the system, that person's plugging in, that person's making some money, that person's got a group that's growing. At that point in time, the only thing that can get that person out of the company, the only thing that can get Angel out of the company is a lack of integrity or character. You know what I'm saying? On behalf of her leader or the company. And so I'm not worried about that part. I'm just worried about making sure that she gets started as a customer. When you actually have a person who gets started and they get solar or they get started and they get water as a customer, the people who make even more money than the people who are the top recruiters are the people who are the top the refer getters, right? And so when you can turn around and all of a sudden, Brenda gets a solar system and she's my neighbor, she gets a solar system. You know what, Brenda, I need you to turn me on to family members, anybody in your family that'll get solar. Doc, I need you, to turn me on to anybody. I know you got your water system. I need you to turn me on to anybody in your family that can appreciate alkaline water. I need some referrals, Doc. And that's the thing you want. That's the drum you want to beat before you beat any other drum. Like I said, those two drums, if you're going to be a builder, and go out here and recruit. If you're going to be a retailer, go out there and retail, but go out there and get those referrals. Build a sales force or build a book of business. Build something. And that's the thing. Like he just told you guys, when you talk about focus on certain things, focus on, the areas that you're going to be focusing on and don't be bouncing around. Focus on the tactics that you're going to be using and don't be bouncing around. Focus on where you're at. Remember, I've been in now, well, since February, right? And you don't hear me talk a whole lot about the solar systems I sold, right? I'm focused. I know exactly what my job is. And I look at y'all who sell solar systems and I'm like, man, they're getting it. I want to be like them when I grow up one day. But right now, I got to build this. I got to build what I can build. I got to build what I'm good at, right? What I can make money on. I got to build my future right now. I got to sacrifice and suffer right now so I can have a life of pleasure, without the pain later on. That's what I understand. So if you don't do nothing else, find somebody that's bought something from you from here and focus on getting referrals from them. The next person that buys something from you from here, focus on getting referrals from them. Make it a mandatory thing for you to get 5 to 7 referrals, 1 to 2 sales on solar, 3 to 5 sales on water more per person. Get them to talk to be your walking, living, breathing billboard because we pay referrals. It's not like, hey, just throw me some phone numbers. No, we $500 to $1,000 per referral. Remember, the name of the game is what? Get the deal. Win the deal. Don't that wasn't just a training. That's a real lifestyle. That's a real way of building. Win the deal. Get the deal and get as many of deals on the table as possible so you can get as many referrals on the table as possible. You might give up $1,000 per deal. Let's say you do 5 deals. You give up $1,000. That's $5,000 that you gave up to somebody who actually now puts you in a position where they can market for you. But that 5,000 that you gave up was 5,000 that you spent on marketing, basically. That's $5,000. You got Facebook material, $5,000 worth of pictures, photos, screenshots, testimonials from 5 different people who did business with you that enjoy what they got. Then you got $5,000 worth of incentives like a performance bonus because at this time that same person is gonna go back and say, you know what? It's like you hired a sales force now because now you gave them $1,000. What's gonna happen when they get in and they find people who buy a house? They're gonna give them $1,000. So now you have a marketing campaign and a budget to finance, or bring in the procurement of business and bring the business into your office. Basically, and you're not even paying for it. Now it's going down a generation where it's being paid for because it's something that was taught that goes down deep in depth, right? And so you got to start listening and listening to things on social media about sales, listening to things about on social media about referrals, getting referrals. Become the best at getting referrals. Okay? Become the best at getting referrals from people because those referrals are big. Third party credibility, guys. I'm just telling you, especially when you're paying the person who's giving who's doing the referral $1,000. Third party credibility for them inspires them with that $1,000. But these people over here, I know him or I know her, so this individual right here must be, above board. They must do good business. So based on what he just said or she said, I'm gonna go ahead and just sit down with my bill and have an appointment, right? So referrals. But these are some of the things that just I'm thinking about going into this event. And also when it comes to massive exposure, we got something that we're going to be announcing in California. And it's going to be something that for those of you who are actual builders and people who recruit and have teams, um, it should 10x your business, to 100x your business, depending on how big your business is right now before the end of the year. So your book of business, imagine your book of business exploding by 10 if it's big or by 100 if it's small, by the end of December. That right there in itself excites me. Okay. And so when I'm seeing people all around the US have the ability to go out there and blow up a team and they may not be actual builders, they may not be actual recruiters, but they can based on what we're going to be announcing and what we're going to be doing live from the event. That's why I'm excited. That's why I'm energized. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole because I don't want to give up any information. But what I do want to do is I want to talk about you guys in 30 seconds to 60 seconds. You know what we do. Give us some weekly reflections, what went right in your business. And we'll do is go into some training after that as well. But want to make sure I started that off today because that was on my spirit. I just know what happens, when a company is open. We've been there before. We made millions of dollars launching companies, millions. So this is not something we're new to. This is something we're true to, and this is something we're going to teach you. Yeah. So, all right, we'll start off with Thomas.
Good morning, good morning, family. I tell you,
Morning.
man, I'm looking forward to the Mentor Factory next week. Um, so I'm looking forward to seeing everybody and learning all I can learn. I tell you guys, you guys probably saw my post on our what's up page. The solar got put on my roof this week. I tell you, I want to give shout out to Etris for helping me to go solar. And I tell you, like I was saying earlier, Mr. Bean, I think I run. I just go outside and look at the roof from time to time. I never looked at my roof so often. Got the glass on my roof, and the day that they was, and I tell you, man, the crew was outstanding. The crew was outstanding. I questioned the crew a lot. I asked a lot of questions. I think I learned more from the crew and about my whole project than that I really needed to know, man. They was excited. It's like, man, most people don't even ask us questions about their install. They don't want to know. But he said, but I like you because you're the 2 days they was here. I asked them a million questions, man. So I'm excited. A neighbor saw it going up. He came over, asked me what was going on, and he just moved here from Ohio, and when he get his house, he wants me to install solar on his home. And then another neighbor saw what was going on. We talked. He's a young blood. He's young, but he wants to. He works for Amazon, but he wants to become a builder, and he's gonna come into the business and partner with us in about 2 weeks. So just by going solar, people sitting on my roof already. I don't even have to advertise it. So I'm fired up. I'm gonna leave it there and keep it short. So, Mr. B, thank you for leading the way with going solar. We saw you do it first, I think, on the team. So I had to follow the way. So I'm excited. Can't wait until you get turned on.
Yes, sir. And like I said, that's the thing about being a product of the product. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing when you have a product that you believe in and people see that you're not just really selling something, you're living, what you sell. You're a part of it. It lends more authenticity to what you say. It gives you more credibility as a human being and as a businessman. Right. And so that's your brand. You're living your brand, right? You're showing people your brand. And so now people take you way more serious than, oh, this guy used to sell this, or this guy used to sell travel, this guy used to sell coffee, or this guy, he sell everything. He used to sell makeup. Yeah, I mean, just so it's like now they see, what you have on your roof. Like you said, you got your roof is so cool it got shades now. And so at the end of the day, that when people see that, they want to be cool like you. And that's the thing. You remember you're first. It's like in this situation, in this market that we're in, guys, we're not the people who are actually first to the party. The Zola party, the first movers and the people who are the initiators, those people came out 15, 20 years ago. But it's just like I said, we are a part of the buzz that's catching on and riding the wave of the bleep of the people who jumped in there and who evolved the industry. So, but now it's like it's like we're going after that big batch now, that 85 million batch. We at that tipping point. So, when people see you have it, that's why getting the water, the shower heads and the water filtration systems and stuff like that. When you start getting them, when they get delivered, video it. If it's sitting on your porch, video it. If somebody dropping it off, they bring it up, video it. And say, hey, I'm dropping off your water filter. Hold on, just hold the box. Let me get my camera. They don't know what you're doing, but you videoing them. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, make a spectacle out of it, right? That way you can post it. That way you can show people that experience. You got people be unboxing stuff and they video. You know what I'm saying? It's perfect. Yeah, and so you unbox your solar, unbox your water, or whatever it is. You're doing the same exact thing. The people who do unboxing, they get paid based on views. Okay. If you do some unboxing, guess what? You're gonna start getting paid based on views. When people view your posts on Facebook, social media, guess what? They're gonna want to ask questions. And next thing you know, you give them an answer. Answer is freedom. So Jeremy Dennis.
And I tell you what, Mr. Bain, I tell you what, I'm in a subdivision that got 400 homes. Only three of us got solar on our roof.
That means you got a little bit of work to do, sir.
Got a little bit of work to do,
And a little
man.
bit of time, and a little bit of time. If the other two guys sold, that means somebody else might get some referrals. So let's go get them
Yeah.
before they get
Yeah.
JD.
Yeah, so I want to say thank you for just having this in the morning on Saturdays. I love doing it every Saturday. My take from the week, Thursday was powerful. I don't know what was going. It was like you shot a lightning bolt through me. I mean, it was super powerful. I was so pumped after that call. But I had a good week this week. I set 3 appointments for commercial deals for next week. I'm really excited. If one of those deals go through, it's going to be what people make in 5 years. Had some 3-ways with you, some recruiting, trying to get some people on. Talked to a real estate lady the other day. She's going to try to talk to a bunch of people in the office and get a bunch of them on a call. But it was just a good week. I'm just out there grinding. I'm hoping tomorrow to get out, do some door knocking, and get some residential people on calls this next week too.
Yeah. That real estate event, the lady who we talked to at the real estate office, that was a great call. She was wide
Yeah.
open. I like them. We had a really good conversation, and so she was about it. The real estate conversation is getting better, better and better and better. The more and more we have it, the more effective we get with it. But and keep knocking on doors, keep on talking to people because closed mouths don't get fed. And that's the thing I like about Jeremy that it's like if he see you see him, it's a problem for you because you have no way out. He gonna talk to you, and so it's not a three-way rule with him. Hey, let's and I mean I've talked to roofers with Jeremy. I've talked to realtors with Jeremy. I've talked to we have like you said three commercial appointments that we have to sit with. And so this is exciting. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. And the cool part about it is I tell y'all all the time, people are sitting back and watching, right? Jeremy, how long were you in the groups and then just watching, us on Facebook when it came to this company before you made a decision to pull the trigger?
Well, I just watched the one video and then I
Mm.
I seen it kind of pop up on YouTube a couple times, and I just kind of never really watched it. But I don't know, for some reason I was out and your popped up, and so I started watching it. Man, I just got excited, super excited. Then to me, it's just like a no brainer. I don't understand why people ain't seeing the vision because being an entrepreneur myself, I see value in this. It's just like because you can, like I was gonna say, you don't know when you're gonna have that one deal that could make you more money than you ever had in your lifetime, just by one deal,
Mhm.
one commercial deal, I should say. But then if you get two or three residentials, that could be enough money than what you're making already for the whole year. I don't know. I just see endless possibilities here, and when I say I'm going to make 100,000 a month, that's my goal. I got a new goal. I want over 1 million a year. So
There you go. There you go. And so and it's the thing is like guys, this that's why I say stay visible. Keep popping up, keep posting. Because like I said, I know Jeremy's doing his trading thing, and I know we had basically did another opportunity together. And for everybody who, was doing trading and stuff like that with us, and investing with us, we just made sure we posted everything. Everybody knew what we were doing. They knew what we had started. We made it known to everybody and put it out there in the universe. And anybody who wants to come on board with us, come on board with us. Anybody who don't, that's great. We're gonna make sure that you're supported either way. But you have people who are following you, who are watching you because people are looking and people need stuff. And then you have people who just understand from a business perspective what you have your hands on. So you just make sure that you continue to become attractive to them from a entrepreneur perspective, somebody who they want to partner with. All right. Idris.
Yes, yes, sir. Good morning, all. Just want to give another big shout out to Thomas. Not sure if he even mentioned this, but he had some challenges with the HOA, and he actually fought them, right? So not sure if you guys see what I posted or whatever, but yeah, it's gonna be a huge story and inspiration for other homeowners, other people in the group, other people on our team who want to take advantage of solar. Because once again, his HOA was against it. He took the initiative to go ahead and fight against it, push back on it, and still got the job done. Because of that, not only is he going solar, but his next door neighbor who had the same situation as him is going to go
Mm.
solar as well. So that's a huge deal, and I just definitely want to point that out. So big shout out to you, Thomas, for getting that done. Also to Sabrina as well. Grace, Sabrina, and Angel. We got another install done this week. And it just kind of shows the magnitude of what freedom can do. This was a 2 week install. All right. So the guy was taking advantage from another solar company. We swooped in, helped him out, gave him everything that he needed. This was 2 weeks ago, and now he already has solar on his roof. Completely excited. I got a chance to speak to him yesterday, And not only is he excited about solar, but he also told me he has some other referrals from other neighbors in the area. And I dripped on him a little bit, just told him, there's a possibility, you could get referrals, but there's also another opportunity where you can make even more of a referral. I just want to reach out to Grace and Sabrina about that. So he's wide open, definitely looking to take advantage of that as well. And yeah, just a big shout out to everyone. Had a few great consultations with Anthony as well. And also, Mr. Bean, we got a chance to do a strong three-way with Pastor out in Seattle, who got on board and is flat out excited. So, congratulations to everyone's wins, and let's just continue to rock.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And guys, I'm gonna just say, yeah, this is a situation you want to put yourself in. And I tell people this all the time. If you're going to be a mentor, you want to be a mentor in this group. Okay? It'll work in any group, but you definitely want to be a mentor in this group because of the edification that we put on people who, qualify for the edification is immense. And so, for us to have a group so big, all right, when people are doing solar and you are a mentor and we can call your name out, it puts you in a position where you have access to a lot of resources, right? But it also puts you in a position where now people are calling on you for information. People are calling on you with Q&A and asking questions. And when you're that person who will answer those questions and give people clarity, you have tremendous value to the market. And it's not just one of those things where, you are just asking people's business and every time a deal is done, you on to the next person. No, Idris, if you notice, his name is in a lot of good things. And, and when you do that and you serve the masses, that's when the masses start to speak and they start to lift you up and start to build you up. And now all of a sudden you have a brand that's being built that you couldn't have built on your own, right? And so use that as an understanding. And so we have, again, a reason why, when we talk about using mentors, like I had a presentation. Well, Julie had a three-way with a young lady who's a business owner, owns a brokerage, owns a pays, and also is on with a mortgage lender. And we made an appointment, put it on JC's calendar, but unbeknownst to us, he took the next 4 Thursdays off based on other business, and so he wasn't available. So I contacted Idris, contacted Mr. Varro. They both jumped on last minute, and so just for being available, and saying, "Hey, look, yeah, I'll ride shotgun. If you need me for anything, I'll be here." He got a chance to sit down and listen to the conversation that we had, but also he was there to answer any questions. But most importantly, he immediately became the mentor brand. But just by being available to be edified, I was able to point at him and say, "Hey, look, but this is the top guy in our group when it comes to mentor, and he's one of the most. He's going to be probably one of the people who are going to be doing a lot of the mentor jobs that you actually are going to have for us to do, in Florida and in Houston and other places." And so, being Johnny on the spot again, he now is name and face and brand recognition for her. And so get to for those of you who are going to be mentors, get the mentor and get to mentor, learn everything that you can actually learn and get as good as you can so we can actually use you as a resource, a third party credibility for somebody who owns a company who wants to know how solid the company is as well. It's not just about them talking to leaders all the time. It's about them really having access to people who, and when they ask them questions, they're going to judge the company based off the ability for that person to answer those questions. So become a professional. So anytime you're at, any of these meetings, guys, don't just sit quietly by. Take good notes, record it. Even you record it. You don't even have to ask a person to record. Like you just said, there's some things where people don't want a record. Learn how to screen record. That you can screen record without it even being your Zoom. And so that's another thing for those of you who, because we want to make sure we create the most pleasant environment possible for that person who's about to make a big decision. And we don't want that to be that one caveat that keeps them from moving forward, keeps them from giving the mentor the information that they want because it's being recorded. Google or YouTube how to screen record on Zoom and study the people who are doing those presentations. All right. So appreciate you, Idris, for everything you do, bro. Let's see here. Laura Johnson, LJ, good morning.
Great morning, Mr. Bean and Foresight family. So excited to be here. And first and foremost, I have to just say how grateful I am for you, Mr. Bean, and for the environment that you have created in terms of this Foresight family. I can never, never, never um, overstate that because it's just so important that, this environment that you've created to grow us and to groom us and to make us better and allow us to win at such a high level, this is not anywhere else. And so, I want our family not to take it for granted because, if you've been anywhere else and had an opportunity to compare to what we have in this Foresight family, you'll know that you're top notch here, top notch. So first and foremost, thank you, thank you, thank you, Mr. Bean and Mrs. Bean for this environment. So this week, Mr. Bean, I decided I wasn't here last week because I had an event that I was hosting, and so I miss being here. And I feel like sometimes a drug addict without its fix when I'm not here. I miss it so much, and I feel so unfed when I'm not here. But this week I took my vital signs because it's always important to take our vital signs to see where I am as an organization, as a group, and where I am. And so, I'm happy to say that I have three personally sponsored builders in my organizations. I'm just one away from free. So I'm working on that very, very hard.
That's
And
right.
and my organization has over two generations of builders, which I'm excited about that too. So also I want to, announce that I have completed three deals, and I have been advanced to M2. So I'm well on my way to going to mentor. My
Wow.
last deal was with Mr. Idris Alaka. And, I listened to Mr. Idris, like Mr. Bean, like you say, you got to listen to sometimes the things people don't say. And so I was asking him about being a mentor, and I just listened very carefully to some of the things that he was saying. And so it's got me on a great path to mentorship, knowing the responsibility. It's not just fly by night. There's a great responsibility, and there's a lot going on in the background that we don't even know about with these mentors. So you have to have a great deal of respect for these mentors because they're doing a lot. And so he was the one that finalized my third deal, and he's keeping me just on track with it. So I'm very excited about my progress in the company. I hear you, Mr. Bean. I'm going to focus more on attracting more people to the company as builders, as subscription. And I'm just excited. I'm just excited about everything that we have here and the vision for the future because the vision is huge. So thank you for allowing me to share, Mr. Bean.
Yes, ma'am. And another person who is the proud owner of their own energy company on top of their roof, Laura. I'm just telling you, she was one of the first to get hers done and knocked out. But being on her way, like you said, one away from getting four, being on the way to like being a mentor. And man, I'm excited. And the cool part about it is I know you're a consummate professional, right? And so there are people who, it's like, man, you could get the mentor, like, man, what kind of service this person gonna bring. I don't know. They're kind of wild, you know what I mean? but I already know that they're gonna get exactly what they need to get because you're a professional. And so I appreciate what you bring to the table. I can't wait to refer you. And so, but keep on building, keep on getting, keep on grinding. You're always on the go, making it happen. And I'm gonna say one thing I do, I appreciate. And I was thinking about this the other day. As I was moving around, I'm like, man, in every company I've ever been in, I've always had different people that majored in different things. And I remember how when we did coffee, how you majored in doing events. I said, man, I said, Laura's one of those people, and I thought about saying, Laura's one of those people who just did events all the time, had coffee tables everywhere, and anything we sold she had stuff everywhere, sold everything we had. She always was at an event. I said, boy, she get back into that event mode with solar, it's gonna be a problem for some people. So but like I said, that's just again when you're always doing something and branding yourself, your leaders and mentors, the people they always know, they remember that. So that's a good thing. But
On
I
the way to event mode, Mr. Bean, on the way to event mode here in South Carolina, because South Carolina is growing and they need solar on these roofs.
yeah.
Plus, we have in South Carolina, in addition to the 30% federal tax incentive, we have an additional 25% tax incentive. So there's no reason that people in South Carolina shouldn't go solar. So me and my team are working on it.
Well, an additional 20. I can't wait. Like, man, we got to have a conversation about that. I need to know about that part because that's a whole entire nugget right there. That's a big. That's a boulder. That ain't no nugget. That's a boulder right there, boy. So good stuff. I know you now. Now it's like now I see why you can't wait to get the mentor. Like, that's an insta sale. Just add water. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, that's it. I learned something today. Coming. I'm glad I came to training. I, I appreciate you, Laura. Hey. Yo, y'all, see, this is the thing. Y'all got to start adding this stuff up. And you talk about this is the type of stuff like if you're in presentations and you're doing presentations, you get to say that in your presentation, especially if you're in South Carolina. Like, man, and right now for people in our backyard, guys, we don't just get 30%. If we get an extra 25, that's a nugget. That's a huge nugget for your area. Like, whatever city and states, like those people who are just selling solar in the states where the government is paying you, in towns or in counties where the government is paying you, if you just getting a deal done in those, that's it's going to be huge. It's going to be easier. But finding people in those cities, in that area, in that region, tentacles in that market, that's what you want to find them because they'll go find the deals, and those deals again become more abundant and come to you in a surplus format if you can go out there and find people in those zip codes, those areas, those markets. Telling you, freedom. Matter of fact, a nugget from y'all for Freedom Forever, guys. In less than 12 months, let's say 10 months is October for the company. Their partnership with Freedom Forever, they've hit top 10 when it comes to production, when it comes to Freedom Forever. So, guys, just think about this for a second. They do 250 sales a day on average, basically. Freedom does. Okay. And the company, we are in the top, we made number 10. We're in the top 10 for them right now. And they are, again, so right now you can tell people how fast we're exploding, how big we're becoming, how we're growing overnight, and how much of a impact that we're making. Remember, the company's been around since what? 2011. They did 160,000 installs. They do 250 installs a day, right? And we're in top 10 out of their vendors already in all the United States, right? And so that's again edification, learning how to paint that picture for your people. We're not just dealing with the best. We're not just dealing with number one with Freedom Forever. We are amongst the best when it comes to people who sell deals as a dealer. So use that. That's another feather. You just got two feathers, on two bullets in your vest right there back to back. You know what I'm saying? That was a big bullet that Laura just dropped though. Man, I got to find me some people in South Carolina now. I gotta go target that market. Oh, Doc, come on, Doc. What you got this morning?
Mr. Bean, can I go before that? Because I got to teach study in about 15 minutes.
Go
Give me
ahead, go
some
ahead, go
time.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mr.
Break for us when you leave and go do study. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. Grace and peace to everybody. It's Yom Kippur for you guys that don't know. Look that up. Look that up. It's already a new year. Look it up. Check that out. So super excited to be in the building with you guys on this morning. I just wanted to encourage everybody. Present, 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 present. If you're looking for profit, you've got to present this business. So listen, guys, you've got to make certain that you actually put yourself in a position to present the business. You don't have to be perfect. Perfect practice breeds perfection. I'm a singer, and I remember all the time from the time I was 3 when I first got a microphone in my hand, it was always the perfect practice that breeded perfection. Keep doing it, present it to ask one of your family members, say, hey, can I do a presentation for you? You're not obligated to do anything. I just need to practice. And the more that you do that, your confidence will go through the roof. You'll be able to talk to anybody. I'm talking about anybody. Doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter their status. None of those things will be a factor. So just keep practicing. Keep practicing. People always ask me, well, how do you do it? Why are you not nervous? Because I do this when I get up in the morning when I'm looking in the mirror. I literally will do a presentation in the mirror. That's where you can perfect. You got to just keep doing it. Keep doing it. And one day you will find yourself presenting to the masses. It'll be a glorious day for you. And you literally won't be afraid to do it. Why? Because you've had that perfect practice. So definitely keep doing that. Keep practicing. Make sure you put it on your calendar. I was talking to Landon the other day, Mr. Bean. I said, I'm going to find one of those old OG. I still have them. The old OG calendars where you used to do the plan with us and talk about presenting on that calendar, had a calendar mapped out. Now listen, it doesn't, there you go. I know I got like 2 or 3 of them. It doesn't mean that you actually have the people in place right now, but when you write it down, the people will come. The more you write it down, the people will come. Write down your goals every day. Put it on your screensaver. Write it on the tables of your heart. That's the same thing. It's a biblical principle. Write the tablets. Write it on the tables of your heart so you'll be able to produce what you want to see manifest in your life. You gotta do that. Always have a fantastic week. I don't care what happened. When you get on here, it was a great week. I don't care if you got sick and you were in the bed all week. It was a great week. We got to stay optimistic. You got to watch what you're saying in this season for sure. Be careful. Be meticulous about your words. And another thing, lastly, if you don't have a solar install, honey, pull some pictures from that group and then put a testimony on your page. Another satisfied customer. Another satisfied customer. Why? Because it's another satisfied customer, period. And people can see that. As they're seeing that, they're going to gravitate towards you to find out more about what you're doing. Everybody's move is your move. Everybody's blessing is your blessing. So when you look at that, make sure you apply that. And last but certainly not least, when we had that millionaire mentorship call the other day, she told us to give away $1,000 in $100 bills. If you did not watch that millionaire mentorship call, go watch it. I'll tell you guys something. I wasn't going to watch it. I was like, Mr. Bean not talking. I'm not watching it. And I literally messaged him and he said to me, get on the call, period. And I said, yes, sir. Obedience is going to be important in this season, guys. Get on the calls. Don't miss them. The millionaire mentorship call. When I tell y'all, I started sowing those seeds. You got to have $1,000 bills. Make the commitment to do it. Do y'all know yesterday, I got the $1,000 from somebody yesterday. She said, go give $1,000 and go get $1,000. I literally got $1,000 from somebody yesterday. It was bananas because they said, well, what do you need me to do? I said, what would it take for you to give me $1,000 right now? They said, just ask. I said, okay, I need $1,000. And I literally got $1,000 yesterday. So I'm going on mute, getting ready to teach this Bible study, but I wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to share with you the importance of obedience, and I wanted to share with you the importance of the presentation. And I yield my mic. Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Hey, send me their phone number. I'm gonna send them $10,000, send out $10, $100, so I get that 1,000 too. I want to be. I want to.
Period. Listen.
I appreciate you. Hey,
Love y'all.
this is good stuff. We love you too. But this is the real deal though. Like, because this the thing is like, and I'll start backwards. I go backwards. So, um, and it wasn't any disrespect, to Carla. It was one of those things where, um, Miss Pacheco, when she was training, it didn't matter who. It's just like when you've been groomed and you've grown in the environment that she was raised in when it comes to network marketing and leadership and stuff like that, who she's been mentored by, coached by, and we're talking about almost 2 decades. Um, a lot of it doesn't impress you. A lot of it, and that's where you have to be disciplined, when it comes to your commitments, right? It's not that, it's not about you even getting fed. Like I said, it's about you, one, putting yourself in a position because you don't know what's about to be said, and you can learn something from anything and anybody. Two, your people, you have people on your team. So can you teach them to be on a millionaire mentorship call if you're not on there? No, sir. I say so. One, be on there for them, and you actually might get something out the call. And next thing you know, she got $1,000 for being there and being obedient. And so that's the thing about what we have our hands on and who we are. First, you got to always understand that you are dealing with a volunteer army, right? You're dealing with, if you're a pastor at a church and your ministry is a music ministry, and you don't have a health ministry, or you don't have a wealth ministry, or you don't have whatever it is type of ministry, they're going to leave your church and go to another church. And it has nothing to do with you, it's just that they're in the wrong church. They just basically, they're not that ministry doesn't produce what they need and what they're looking to be fed with. And so that's why for many, many years, people come and hit me with companies. I'm like, y'all don't have nothing over there for me. It's like, if I have to lead this leader who I made millions of dollars with, you have to show me where your capabilities to lead me and empower me are greater than the ones I have right now. Right? And but again, it's just something I can learn from anybody. I've learned from my enemies on a regular basis. I've listened to people who I can't stand do trainings in other companies. People who I've almost beat up before. I'm just saying, it's just, but you can learn. My wife always tells me, she's like, I don't know how you do it. I don't even know how you can hear that voice and not cringe. I said, it's not about, it's about, the benefit, of what that person may say. Like, it's people I know for a fact that if a person came to me and said something to me, I would have nothing, zero to say to this individual. But now I put myself in a position where over the past 3 months, I've been able to go back and listen to some trainings and some archive stuff and some stuff that's on Instagram or whatever it is, because it's not about what that person did to me and how I feel about that individual. It's about what I can still learn from that individual and use it to empower you. Because trust me, if it was just about me, I probably wouldn't listen to him. But it's because it's a greater, I have a greater role in this situation. I'm in a place I've never been before in this situation as the vice president of the company, and so this is new territory from a positional perspective, right? But it still requires the same discipline and emotional sophistication, right? And so you can learn from anybody and anything, even if it's just watching cartoons with your kids, So, but that's one thing. So again, just the process, the system, plug into the system. I like also the another satisfied customer. Yeah, that again, use it. Like Brenda is one of the best at that. Like, you don't know what belong to Brenda. Brenda pop it up. She gonna put it up. It's gonna post. It's gonna be lit up, and she gonna sensationalize it, make it bounce with 15 other pictures. It's gonna be dancing in and out, and she's gonna say something in Spanish. She's gonna say something in English, and you have zero idea who did that deal, and it ain't none of your business. Just know it's another satisfied customer. So that's a hot topic right there, guys. I don't want to wait till I do my own. Good luck with that. Okay. Knock yourself out. You have zero marketing material at all because you waiting. But waiters become waiters, by the way. Knock yourself out though. Go ahead. Keep waiting. So action kills fear and creates a new you, right? And so that presentation thing that she's talking about, just having a company, just having the ability to go out there and point and read and just do presentations over and over and over again, it puts you in a huge position to win, right? And so that's how I evolved from the worst presenter in the industry to one of the more enjoyable, not because I'm the best presenter, it's just me being one of the more enjoyable presenters because I know how to communicate. I know what my weaknesses were. I know where I fell short at. And so for me, I'm never going to probably be the best speaker, in the world. But the one thing I do, and I was able to do when I was going through presenting, I found out what I was great at while presenting with people. It wasn't necessarily communicating, it was the connecting part. I got grace and favor based on people knew my heart was right. And it bought me time. It bought me a lot of a leniency, like a lot of when I say I messed up stuff, I'd had time where my wife was kicking me under the table because I was messing up so bad in presentations. We do be doing 2-on-1s and I'm just jacking it up and she kicking me like, what you doing? Like, what you saying? That I'm like, I'm new to this. leave me alone. Right. So at least I'm doing it. So, that type of thing. You know what I mean? But now it's like, now you just getting in front of a crowd and doing a presentation, like Jeremy said, that the presentation Thursday night was awesome. And that was a whole entirely different energy, a whole entirely different vibe. Had a lot of different people hit up the chats after that, shoot text messages over, and how Mr. Pacheco started it off. And then, like even Dale came through and said, one of the most important parts of the presentation was that when you came in, you talked about learning something from his presentation, humility. And so the person who does the back part of the presentation is the anchor, right? And so it's normally in that setting, the more experienced of the two or the more accomplished of the two. And in this situation, it's going to be different for me in most cases because when I'm speaking with him or when I'm speaking with JC, I'm speaking with one of the owners of the company, but I'm in an anchor position, and so that when you run anchor in a relay and you get that baton last, you got a hell of a job, and you bringing it home for everybody. Everybody in the audience is looking at you either bring it home for the team or looking at you drop the ball for the team, and so I'm like, hey man, look, for me, watching him do his presentation and how much he was on point and on purpose, it just made me step my game up a whole entirely different way, to a whole entirely different level. Some of y'all might listen to rap or may not, but when Lil Wayne and Eminem was on the same track, and everybody's like, man, you the only guy Eminem didn't body on the chest. Yeah, Eminem said, yeah, I know that boy Cole. He said, I can't get bodied. I can't let him do me like that. And so, yeah, when you own, that platform with somebody, make sure you're either the person that's carrying it or you're the person that's stretching the individual that's coming behind you. Make sure that person know they got a job to do. If they're coming behind you, good luck. You know what I mean? So, so yeah, you might want to go first. You know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with me, you might want to go first because they're gonna be signing up after I get through. And so, but that's the thing, that presentation, but that didn't get that way until I started doing presentations over and over and over and over and over again. And when you're doing presentations, guys, remember, practice don't make perfect. It makes permanent. Okay. If you do the same presentation over and over and over again, you're going to permanently do it right, or you're going to permanently do it wrong, or you're going to permanently do it the same. Practice makes permanent. So what you do is, you practice evolving your presentation. Practice evolving your presentation. I do a lot of researching, or I'm always listening to something, on YouTube or something that I can pop up an idea. Like I don't know how long or how many different videos I listened to on roofing and solar. Um, like I probably like 5 or 6 videos on roofing and solar, and one 3 times that day. And when I was doing my presentations and getting ready to get my mind right, and for the presentations for roofers and the presentations for realtors, but I found a nugget or two that gives me, that I can use in a regular presentation or a regular conversation. Like Carver said, the more and more you present, the more uh, the more effective your conversations are, the less scripted you have to be. Idris has done countless numbers of mentored presentations. He's done countless numbers of installs. So his conversation is going to be a lot more elevated and evolved than everybody else's because he's got the repetitions. Right? That's a muscle. Presentation, when you're a presenter, guys, presenting is a muscle that needs to be exercised on a regular basis in order for it to grow. Right? So exercise that presentation muscle. But also, more importantly, exercise the elimination of fear by doing presentations over and over and over again. The more and more you do them, the less, I'm gonna tell you, the less fearful you'll be of doing them. Okay, and like so, everybody write this down. Show business. We're in the show business. If you're a builder, you're in the show business. Okay, not talking about the entertainment business. I'm talking about the show business. I'm talking about showing the plan, showing the business, right? Showing what we offer, showing people I'm in the show. I'm going to show you what solar does, what solar can do for you. I'm going to show you what water can do for you. And if you're drinking our alkaline water, I'm going to show you what security can do for you. I'm going to show you what subscriptions will do for you. But I'm about to show you what build can do for you. We're in the show business. Whether you're selling or whether you're building, you're in the show business. Okay. So get in the show business. Okay. And show you, go out there and show everybody what you got your hands on. All right. Dr. Arlene.
Good morning, sir. I'm excited about anchoring after you and Kobe. I come up third. Let's go. I'm excited about that because this week, sir, first of all, thank you for my Saturday injection because it's my immunity against all the other stuff that happens during the week because I know that I have a business to earn my freedom. Mm-hmm. So this week I learned about stories, subs, and systems all in one. And the story is I'm reading the book Finding My Why because motivation motivation is something that I've been working on and working through. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why are you doing this? Is it really legacy? Is it what? So I'm reading the book Finding My Why. Then God put in front of me a young lady yesterday who is a mental coach for athletes, and I was networking with her, and she said, "So what can I do for you?" I said, "You know what? Right now I'm in a state of flux." And she said, "State of flux?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm a chief of medical staff building a business where it doesn't matter what my status is, title is, whatever it is. I have to actually get in front of these individuals and show them what's in it for them." I said, "And for me, that's new territory because I'm used to folks just listening to me because I am the chief of medical staff and doing what I need them to do." And she said, "Well, why are you doing what you're doing?" I said, "That's a good question because I'm reading a book right now about Finding My Why." And she said, "Well, talk to me about that." And I said, "I have young adults that in medicine, they would have to follow me in medical school. They'd have to go training. They'd have to do all these other kinds of things to be able to be in business with their mom." I said, "In solar, in water and all that, they don't need to do that." I said, "They just need to plug into a system, build some subscriptions, right? And that builds income, it builds legacy." She said, "So what I hear you saying is that you are a businesswoman who made a decision to change industries in order to build a legacy with her children that will last generations." And she said, "How does that help other people?" I said, "It helps other people because one, they get to have a solar brokerage." I said, "Which means they get to build legacy." I said, "It helps the client because the client actually can earn tax credits, decrease their, reduce their bill, this, that, and the other." And I gave it to her. And she said, because I've mentioned to her that it tied into I'm also tied into financial services. She said, "So what I hear you saying is you can help people to build a solar brokerage, and then you can show them how to use their money so that they build legacies outside of solar." I said, "Yeah." She said, "But I also hear you saying is you can help people to save money, and then you can help them in financial services, whether it's credit repair," because I mentioned credit repair to her, "whether it's getting out of debt, whether it's saving to buy a new home, whether it's saving towards retirement. Is that what I hear you saying?" I said, "Yes." She said, "So sounds to me like everything you do ties together and you need to brand yourself that way." And I said, "Ooh, thank you, God, because I needed that." So stories, what's your story? What's your why? Subscriptions, that's the legacy. And then put action behind everything that the system teaches to do. That's what I learned this week.
That's what I'm talking about. That's good stuff. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of different places you can find inspiration from and motivation from. Um, there's a lot of people in the company that don't connect with me. Right? A lot that do, a lot that don't. I'm not going to be able to connect with everybody. Everybody's not going to always get the message from me. So there's some people who can get it with, JC, or there's some people who can get it with Mr. Pacheco, or they can get some people who can get it, from Ed Ayala, and I was just whatever it is, you know, just know that when you're open, what you're looking for is looking for you. Like I said, you basically whatever you put out there in the universe to say, "Hey, I need an answer to this, and I'm willing to, really do what I need to do until I can find that answer because this means so much to me." It'll come to you. It'll show up anything and everything. We've been in the movies. My wife, she'll tell you, I'll pull my cell phone out, and because somebody done said something in the movie, and it was a quote, and I'm like one of those people. I learned the hard way that I'm not going to wait till I get to the car to write the quote down because you do what? Forget it. 100% of the time. I'm taking my phone out right now. I'm gonna use it right now. And what ends up happening, she'll hear me get right on the phone and use it right away. I know already, I'm gonna put this in play right away. Right. And as a matter of fact, it was a movie, I forgot the name of the movie, but It was just one little scene in that movie as an example, and I was learning how to trick. I was going to do a training on recruiting and building a team years ago. The guy said, you know what, we're an innovation company. I don't need, you know, a person we can hire who's a fool and they don't have any skill set who can just come and see the fire that we built and come throw another stick on the fire and keep the fire going. I need a fire starter. And I'm like, that's I gotta use that. And that became I built a whole entire 2 hour training off that one quote because it was in my spirit, is what I was looking for. And again, that's what you're looking for will find you right now. Some of y'all looking for help, right? No, look for the answer. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for the answer will show you exactly what you need. It always comes to you and you don't know where it's going to come from. And it's going to come from a place that you never ever thought it was going to come from, right? But it's going to come. You just got to be on purpose with what you ask for and what you expect 100% of the time. And so that part, I really do appreciate that in its own in its entirety. But stories, I made a fortune off stories. I never made a fortune off presenting. If you listen to my presentation, it's chock full of stories, right? And so my whole entire conversation is chock full of stories. People don't care about all the facts and figures. They care about social proof. You can give them a fact, but back it up with a story. You know what I'm saying? Get really good at telling stories. There's a lot of y'all who like I use rap as a as a foundation because I grew up on it. But I remember all the best storytellers in rap. I can't remember every rapper's name, but I liked a lot of them. But I can tell you every storyteller that was a rapper. Started way back with Slick Rick and people like that. They just you were in there with them, like they walking you through this whole entire story, and you just right there with them, and you bobbing your head. You can see yourself walking down the street with them, like wow, that really is really happening right in front of me. Like and you, that's what storytellers do. They bring you into the whole entire situation. So when I'm telling a story, like in my presentations, I'm telling you, you have a job and that's fine. That's paying your bills right now. But what happens, right, when they don't want you no more? Right? What happens when that it's time for you to go and do something different? Or you got a job and now I'm putting you in a position where I'm reminding you that your second job, that part-time job, is 30 hours a week, 25 to 30 hours a week for $2,500, $33,000 a month. And I'm talking about a person can do that in one deal with no hours, like just a couple of hours a month, not 30 hours a week. Right. Learn how to paint pictures with words. Okay. And I said, is it live or is it memory? It's like paint, like you want people to see what you say. You want to create verbal brochures. Okay. And so when we talk about what we get paid to do, we get paid to have conversations that are full of stories. We get paid to do, we get paid to solve problems. And if you can't show a person that they have a problem, then there's nothing that you can do for them. Okay. You may not need solar, but you may need something other than a job. Me knowing that the average lifespan on a job per person is like 3 years before you jump into your next job. How y'all see your people jumping from job to job? Every time you talk to them, you lose contact with them. They're not doing the same thing that they used to do. Or they're not doing it where they used to do it at. Inconsistency, right? That no security, insecurity. So when I'm having these conversations, I'm starting my conversation off in the beginning of the conversation with guys, before we even get started, one, it's not network marketing. Two, I chose this company because I see a way for people to come through here and make $100,000 a year on a part-time basis without quitting their job, without recruiting. I'm painting that picture for them, right? A verbal brochure. That's my verbal brochure. They're reading my pamphlet as I'm reading it to them. They can see it, right? And so that's what you want to do. Learn how to get into a person's spirit and move some stuff around up in there. You know what I'm saying? Have them conflicted before they get off their call, right? So get in that spirit and move them around. So Doc, that's some good stuff. Your why, right? You got it. Yeah, they got all these cliches. If you why don't make you cry, it ain't you why. I was this period. You know what I'm saying? What is it? that would drive you bananas, and you would lose rest over for the rest of your days if you didn't get accomplished. Period. Me, I love it. Ain't about having the most money in the world. It's about me being in a position that I'm just left alone. I don't have to deal with you because I don't need to. I'm financially secure, to where I can be somewhere minding my own business and you not be a part of my life to bug me and worry me and I'm talking about as a population. If I don't want to deal with you, I don't have to because I have financial security and it allows me to go and have a life that doesn't exist with you. That's me. That's my why. And my family get to benefit from that. You know what I'm saying? They get to be left alone too, right? They want to be left alone, right? So my kids can go to whatever college they want to go to. They go, we can go on whatever vacation we want to. I just want a luxurious lifestyle. When I mean luxurious, I'm talking about just free leisure, just being, I can wake up when I want to wake up. I can go sleep when I want to. That's all that's important to me outside of leaving a legacy. But my right now, that's what I need right now. That's what I do. That's why I work so hard right now, because that's my why. I've experienced it. When you experience it, guys, I'm just telling you this, you cannot go back. It's like a pit bull. When they say pit bull get blood in their system, the only thing you can do is put it down at that point in time. The only way you can get freedom out of me is by getting me out of here. That's my why. You got to figure out what your why is. Because being working for somebody will make me cry. That would be like, man, that would just, if I ever had to do that again, that would hurt. That would just, nah. So for me, I just understand the pain of being poor at one point in time in my life. I stay connected to that. Growing up on hand-me-downs and government cheese and all this other stuff that I had to do and we had to live up. I'm like, can't have my sons even look at that stuff unless they see it on the news or we helping people in the community or whatever it is. That's not like that part right there is already done. That was always a part of my why. They've never seen anything that resembles my lifestyle as a kid, unless they read about it or saw it on the movie or TV or something. And they don't even think that stuff exists. They don't even think that's real. And it's on TV, Dad. Bro, that's the news. Bro, people really poor. And like this, my son came to the house the other day, and this is yesterday. He had all his friends over, whatever. And my wife said something to him. He said, "Yeah, but that's Dad's rich." I was like, man, it did something to me. I was like, man, I better go get richer real quick. I gotta stay rich. You know what I'm saying? Something because this dude really he out here. This ain't the first time he said that. They really that lifestyle that we brought them up in. They expect that. I see what entitlement does. I see how it forms, how it creates itself, and then so manifests itself. And so we had to teach them and make sure that they understand this is not your money. We not rich. I'm rich. You got to get yours. So you get the benefit from some of this stuff, but nah, bro, when y'all out of here, all this money, it's me and your mamas. We hitting the beach. You not. You gonna be grown, so get it together quick. So you got your why, boy. So all right, but this is why we come here, man. We just have a good time and we go over our wins every Saturday morning, doing our thing every Saturday morning. But I'm excited about it. Kathy,
Good
some of
morning,
you.
family.
Good morning.
So I just want to ditto to everything that everyone has said about how inspiring this platform is, and definitely is a safe space to share and to collect nuggets. So, Mr. Bean, thank you for that. Ditto to Angel and to Sabrina. The role play Zoom that we have weekly has been so inspiring and has really help me to gain that confidence that I need to move forward. Excuse me, I'm getting ready to go to a funeral. But everything has really been so inspiring, so helpful. Also, I wanted to say that it's so true that every no is not a no. All the work that I've been doing since I've been in, I'm thinking, oh, it's not working. Oh, these people not listening. Oh, my work, I'm having to do all this work and nothing is coming out of it. Well, this week I was able to get 3 phone calls from people that I have reached out to and talked to about solar and pique their interest. And so I have a follow-up meeting this evening with someone. Um, Also, someone that I brought in, they came in at the first level, but they're looking to upgrade and they're the things that I've been helping them understand about this platform. They finally see it. They finally understand it. And so I'm excited about that, just to say that every no, it doesn't mean no. And like Angel said, you just be continue to be persistent with people. Continue to, just as I hear, drip on them. And that's what I've been doing. But sometimes it's a slow process. You want it to happen like yesterday, and it doesn't happen that fast. So I'm just excited to say that being connected to this platform and other platforms, and listening and hearing my peers talk about success, and it was really paramount when Coffee said that someone else's success is my success. We've got to learn how to take that and apply it to our lives as well. Because sometimes you're looking like, oh man, they're doing this and that. No, we're doing it. So it's really encouraging to be a part of this team. So that's what I want to say. I hate to jump off, but I'm headed to a funeral.
You
You
gave
guys
us some
have a
great,
wonderful.
I appreciate you. And take care of yourself, all right?
I
So
will.
that's bad. And so again, this is a good day for conversation. And so I'm just looking at things that you talked about, going back, because I already had this on here as far as role playing, and Angel does an amazing job every Monday at 6 o'clock. And so, guys, if you guys are not where you're supposed to be, it's because you're not who you're supposed to be. It's just a fact of the matter. Remember, you are getting paid in direct proportion to the value that you bring to the market. Yeah. And if your skill set does not allow you to close a deal, then you probably should get paid on it, right? That's just the fact of the matter. Like I said, I'm looking at Wendy. Hey, Wendy. And Wendy is a professional that's come from another company, and she's got an extensive book of business. She's one of our new closers, one of our new mentors. And so y'all get to know Wendy, because you're going to hear about a lot. And she's over on the East Coast and Maryland. And so, but I was able to go to bat for her, based on what Landon told me and then what I experienced when we were on a call, right? And so there's extreme value there. This is a person who's putting in hours and hours and hours of not just work on her, but she's putting hours of work on other people. She had a team that she trained and coached. She trained and coached all the mentors and people for the company as well. And so when you look at people who've done that, people who've taught that, that's a person that you want to make sure you put on Front Street, because that individual is extremely valuable, right? And so when they say favor ain't fair, and some people can come in, and when you have that type of cachet, you can come in and skip the line. There's no line for a person who qualifies to already be there, right? And so when you go out there and you now start doing all these role playing, and you're now working on your skill set on sales, and you're working on your skill sets on being a mentor and closing, the more and more you do it, the more and more value you bring to the market, the more, because you get a chance to learn from every experience. Again, that's that muscle. Go work on it, right? But 6 o'clock every Monday, Angels Dell like clockwork, right? Get that. Make sure y'all are on that call. Make sure that you are referring people to that call, because that skill set that you attain just by going through it, that's one that'll pay you. If you are a builder, right, and you have the builder pack, and you're not in the VIP lounge, the builders VIP lounge, oh man, you're costing yourself money. Just by not being in that group costs you money. And you qualify to be for it based on the fact that you have that pack. Just for the record, you have people who are training people as we speak around the world as the top sales corporation globally, right? Grant Cardone, his group, his people are training you guys. It's a call goes in at every 6 o'clock. I mean, at 6 o'clock in every morning, Central Standard Time, 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific Standard Time. There's a call, a new training call, a new skill set development call that you can actually learn from when it comes to, Grant Cardone teaching you, based on what you see them do. As get in there. Make sure you get your name added to that group. Make sure you get in and listen to some of those calls, because that's going to trigger, you in growing it's going to stimulate your ability to grow your skill set. It's going to help you with setting appointments and making sure people actually show up. Some of you complain about what's going on, man. I gotta know. Like Kat said, I gotta know. But that no, you deserved it. Yeah. No, sometimes mean the person doesn't need it right now. They don't know enough. It might mean that you don't know enough. Right? Well, I did my best. What if your best not good enough? Make your best better. Right? So when I heard Grant Cardone, this is the free stuff that I'm like on YouTube, whatever. I'm like, I came up with 3 different trainings off of just the stuff he gave out for free. So when I joined this group and they paid the big down payment and big monthly payment for the 4 years, I already knew what it was gonna do for y'all and for them back in the day. And so to have remember, people they do bad in life financially because they don't see value. They don't know how to recognize value, especially when the value is almost free. Right? The fact that you already paid for it and you have access to it, and I'm not charging you an extra. If I charge you $1,000 to be in there and $250 a month, you be in there. But because you already paid for it and you just building your business on the wish factor or the hope factor instead of the skill factor, you're not gonna go in there and get better. That's just human nature. But let something happen if you lose your job, God forbid. And all of a sudden you're gonna want to go in there and now you want to cram. Let me see what I can learn right away. So I can sell some of these solar systems or so I can sell some of this water. Let me see how many now you want to watch every one of them calls, every day, 5 times. I'm about 6 or 7 times. I gotta get this. Now you have to do it. Why should you be triggered to do what you're supposed to do already to get what you say you really want? Right? And so that's why everybody, you look at the top 3% of people who earn the most money in the world, top 1%, 3%, they don't they have their why is their trigger. They are with their own purpose. You're talking about purpose driven life, purpose built business, right? Being on purpose. So that being there, guys, and also those no's that you get, inspect those no's. Okay. It's people on the football field, basketball field, man, my bad. That was my bad. So sometimes it's your bad. Inspect the no. Why you get the no? Or I was overly aggressive, or I was real passive, or I talk too much, or whatever it was, start with you. It's not a lot wrong with a lot of people you talk to. It's a lot wrong with a lot of the people who are doing the talking. Remember, if every no you got, you were the one person that was always at a no when you got it. You were the common denominator, right? So again, all that means is you didn't learn a lot from the last no. And you was insane because you thought doing it the same way is gonna get you a different result. It got you the same no. So keep on beating your head against the doors and not making your best better. I'm just telling you, it's gonna cost you a lot. The better you get, the more money you make. Some of you guys are just 1 month or 2 months of listening to Grant Cardone and being on chats with Angel on Monday from doing 2, 3 deals a month because you're not doing them now. But if you had the skill set, you knew how to invite, you knew how to set appointments, you know how to make people show up, you know how to trial close, you know how to do all the things that they teach you, in those calls, you'd be different. You'd have to be. Okay. So, like I said, if you're gonna be the common denominator, be the common denominator on the yeses. Okay. Be the common denominator on the yeses. Make sure, and remember this other thing, keep this in mind. You might want to write this one down. If you're selling a high ticket item, don't you think you need a high ticket skill set? Like, don't you think you need to be able to close on a high level, communicate on a high level, connect on a high level? This is not the lottery. Just don't scratch and win, man. You literally have to get in there and scratch and fight. But this ain't this like you don't just pick 5 numbers and pray. You get in here and increase your value, increase your skill set, increase your conversation so you can increase your closing ratio. People close when they meet me, not when they hear me. That's the thing where I just want to be in business with him. Like Kathy, who just got through, she didn't even hear the whole entire presentation. When she saw me doing the presentation, she texted Angel and Sabrina said, "Nah, I'm in." Now I know who that is. And trust me, if I didn't have a skill set, I wouldn't warrant that, that she's seen and witnessed in the past. I wouldn't warrant that response. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the first time it happened. It won't be the last time it happened. She's just a reminder to me that it can and does happen. So I appreciate you, Kathy. So I'm gonna keep getting better. So make sure if you got a high ticket, I'm gonna say it again. If you have a high ticket, remember, if you want to get paid in one deal, what some people get paid in 1 month of working on their job, increase your skill set, increase your repetitions. Go out there and really deserve it. Go out there and earn it. Okay. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Good stuff. Carla.
Great morning, Mr. Bean. This has been a impactful Saturday session so far, and I thank you for the environment and for allowing me to share. Two things I wanted to talk about. One is in listening to Grant Cardone this week, what really struck me is what Steve Spray said on Thursday about what differentiates me from others. Why would someone want to do business with me? And then also, Grant Cardone, he quoted Grant Cardone stating, do not get caught in the mechanics of scheduling appointments or doing what we do. You know, get caught into the spirit, but not into the mechanics to demonstrate the urgency. And the other thing I wanted to share is eliminating certain words from vocabulary, and this is something that I work with myself and with my students, and I catch myself and I catch my students. Eliminating words like but, try, if, and reframing them with words like and, will, or succeed, and when. So that's something that I've been working on myself. So thank you for allowing me to share.
Hey, no problem. That's good stuff. And like I said, I appreciate you, especially if you've been on those calls as a weekly reflection. Come in and talk about it directly. Come in and confirm it, validate it. And Steve Spray, by the way, is one of my favorites. I love Steve. But what differentiates you from everybody else? Every presentation is different. Every conversation is different. Every intention is different. Everything is different. But what is it about you that matters to everybody else? What is it about you that puts people in a position where they're willing to do business with you, and then they can convince themselves and that they really need to be doing business with you, like to the point where if you got a person selling themselves to you while they should be in business with you, right? And so I know what it is. Yeah, like the stuff we do, I'm just extra when it comes to what we offer our people and what we do for our people. You can't compete me with that because when you have a generous heart and there's a ton of value of what you offer and what you give away for free, um, you can't compete with me. Go ahead, join this company in another team. You won't have access to what these people have access to, right? Because Grant Cardone, being in the Grant Cardone module, like people will charge you $200-300 a month just to have access to what y'all have access to. But all you did was 199 down and 99 a month. That gave you access to it, right? And you're not even paying me the 99 a month. That doesn't go toward the $10,000 down and the $2,900 a month that we pay for 4 years. You're not biting into that. You're not eating away at that's given to you. That's one of those things that makes us different. All of our events makes us different. How we communicate, connect, and give access makes us different. All the things that when you see, the people, how we create different cultures and environments, in whole like big companies, not just in our groups, it makes us different. And people want to be around that type of energy. They want to be around those type of people who move the needle when they walk into a room. So not going to be the flashiest. I'm not going to be the most profound on stage, giving you all this, talking all hyperbole. I'm going to be the guy that connects. I'm different. I'm just different. You can out communicate me, but you can't out connect me. Good luck. So that's important. Find out what you're unique at and make it better. It's like if you're a salesperson, in one of John C. Maxwell books, he talked about a cupcake salesperson. You got two people that's on your staff, and I don't remember the actual numbers, but let's say you got one person who sells 2 cupcakes an hour, you got one person who sells 10 cupcakes an hour, and if you work with one of them, and you can only work with one of them and help them get better, and you can increase the value of an individual both individuals 100%. You can basically double their production. Who do you work with, right? You work with one, you're gonna double this two, get 4 an hour. You work with this one, take that 10 and make it 20 an hour. You're gonna work with the person who can get you 20 because you get a bigger return, on your deal. So now what you want to do is you want to take your same thing with skill sets. You have skill sets that, you got two different skill sets. One, you're great at, like you may be great at speaking, or you may be great at getting referrals, or you may be great at, whatever it is, knocking on doors, whatever it is. Then you may not be as great with this, okay? But you make more money with this. So you don't say, you know what, I want to be more like Idris, and your skill set that matches Idris is way down here, right? When you have a skill set that's up here, right? What you do is you focus more on this while you work on this, gradually increase this, but focus on this. This is your uniqueness. This is what you get paid on already. This is what you want to now take to the next level. And now this is what becomes your brand. You get known for this and paid off of this as well. But you get known. This is your identity. This is why people come to you. This is why people connect to you, your uniqueness. So again, know you and make whatever it is about you that's special, make it better. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. What do you say when you say to yourself? The book we talk about all the time. The other thing is um, hung by the tongue, and that's the one that tells you, that your words are a navigational system, and that you got to watch what you say because it'll take you down the wrong street if you program it wrong. Remember, you are exactly where you are, so where you made an appointment to be at. Okay, and a lot of your words are what got you there. So if you're extremely successful, moderately successful, or failure, whatever it is, think about the things that you say to yourself every day and have been saying to yourself every day for the past 365 days, 730 days, whatever it is, the last 2, 3, 4 years. What have you said that put you in such a predicament that people envy you or people feel bad about you? Because remember, that's your personal programming. When you hear me say, and when I hear, every time I say this, Lord just laughs, but some of your motherboards need to just crash. Like really, it's and just go ahead and wipe it out, reprogram it, just replace it with new. Like I was talking about, Warren Buffett. If I could just take a USB, and run it from my brain to his brain and just do a dump, man, give me everything you got, right? And so you want to make sure, guys, that you start eliminating those words and start speaking everything as if it already is. Every time I do a presentation, I talk about the $250,000 a month I'm gonna make on just that's an affirmation. Even if I didn't believe it, the more and more I say it publicly, the more and more I'm reprogramming my brain. And guess what? As I reprogram my brain comes up with this algorithm that says, okay, we need to start bringing this type of information and flow to you. We need to start shooting these type of people to you. We need to start forcing you in this direction when it comes to activity because you're not doing enough follow-up and your futures and your follow-up. Some of you have no future because you have no follow-up. You can't get a deal to close because you won't pick up the phone to call them back. All right. Forget the fortune. What about your future? Let's just start with your future. Your future is in your follow-up. Forget everything else. The fortune is real big and it gives you, an opportunity to say, you know what, well, I never thought I was going to get it anyway. But can you have a future just by following up with enough people where you do 2 or 3 deals every month? And then when you actually follow up another way, you have a future, you have some security, then you work on your fortune, follow up for your fortune. But in order for you to follow up, you have to have something to follow up with. So you got to go out there and increase the amount of activity that you have every day. Cause and effect. All right. But find a way to talk to yourself in a way every day. Like some of y'all seen the affirmation video that I have out there. I still listen to that video. And the worst thing I could ever did was stop watching it. You know what I'm saying? But when I started listening to it again, I realized that a lot of the stuff that we had on that affirmation video has already come true, right? And so now I go back to listen to the affirmation video again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And a lot of the hits and replays, and it's been watched it. I probably watched it, half of those hits because it does more for me than anybody else. But I would definitely say that this was the magic of thinking big. That book. That's where I got that exercise out. And they talked about the car salesperson who he recorded his voice doing his daily affirmations every day. Right? And he did it every day. He sold more cars than anybody. And he did no marketing, no advertising. It was all referral based. But he sold more because that's what he told himself every day. He's the number one salesperson in the world. He sells more cars than anybody. And that became his reality because he was working on himself while he was affirming it. Faith without works is dead. So when you actually have the faith and affirm it and you go put action behind it, the proper action, right? Then next thing you know, you start to see the results. So watch what you say to yourself and don't let people, say anything negative to you. Cut them off. And I say cut them off. I'm not just talking about the conversation. Some of y'all need a sabbatical from some of the people who y'all dealing with and communicating with. Okay. If they negative, put them on a 90-day hiatus. Right? Fast from negative people right now. Even if they're in your family. I go on the ground. When I'm rolling and running, I don't have nothing to do with nobody negative. I want to attend no when I know negative people gonna be there. If I'm at that party because it's a family party, I'm on the other side of the room from the negative person. If I see you coming, I don't have nothing to do with you. Hey, hi, dap you up and bounce. But I'm all about the positive. Literally call people, and I love them, and they don't know why I'm calling them. I'm just calling. They think I'm just letting them know I'm going on the ground for 90 days. What I'm doing is I'm making sure I don't have to talk to you for 90 days. Okay. Hey, hey man, I'm just calling you and letting you know if you don't hear from me for 90 days, it's because I'm grinding, I'm launching my new company, and I'm gonna be focused. But just because you don't hear from me, don't mean I don't love you. Just know this: if you text me, I'll hit you right back. I got you, and I can use Aegis because he's one of the most positive people I know, so I can use him for that example. So, but that's how you got to protect yourself, guys, and protect your thinking, protect your mindset. Because again, you don't need anything else negative, happening around you. You don't need anything blocking your blessings, right? So protect that. That's very, very important, very, very empowering. All right. Let's see here. Philip.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Bean, for allowing me to speak, and I appreciate your leadership. And I just want to actually sum everything up by saying follow up is powerful because I actually did that the other day. Spoke to Idris basically after the Zoom we had on Thursday night, and basically I invited uh, a realtor that I was in networking, like we pretty much had a networking event several months ago. She was at a tax lien class, and I got in touch with her a week before, and she said she was going to watch the 15-minute presentation that I sent her on YouTube, and she didn't get a chance to watch it. Followed back up to that same Friday. I mean, on that same week, she didn't get back with me, so I just thought to call her out of the blue, out of nowhere, and I just called her and said, "Hey, you know what? Did you watch the video yet?" She's like, "Not yet." I was like, why don't you hop on the Zoom tonight? We got a business presentation, business overview. And she said, what time is it? I was like, it's in the next 40 minutes. And she hopped on and she enjoyed it. So, but basically, that follow up was the key. And she texted me back, and I was talking to Idris the next that following next day. And I said, well, she texted me back, and then she's like, I enjoyed it, but I got too many things going on right now. And then Idris suggested to me to text her the 3-minute video, which I did, the sizzle video. She watched that, and then she responded back, said, hey, how much does this cost? And I was like, well, I'm on the builder's pack, pay $200 up front, and it gives you access to all 4 services. And, this is what most people are on. And, I encourage you to join. She hadn't got back with me yet, but the fact that she responded back after that. And then I got another appointment with Idris because I followed up with another guy that I spoke with when we had the August 23rd launch event. I followed back with him. I hadn't spoken to him in like a month and a half. Called him right then and there. We got an appointment with him on Sunday. Yeah, and I actually got another bill, and I got another appointment because basically learning how it works. Idris is going to be my mentor. I know if he gets tied up and busy, then I know who else to, but he's going to be my mentor. I actually had another appointment too to finalize everything. I do another job, a tech job on the side, and I was at this homeowner's house. I was like, you know what? Why am I fixing her printer? How about I just give her my solar flyer while I'm in her house already? And I gave her my solar flyer. She's an older lady in her 60s, 70s, and I was like, you know what? How much you pay your utility bill? $240 a month. and she gave me her copy of her bill right then and there while I was fixing her printer. And I went for action like Grant Cardone style. I just said, would you mind giving me your bill? I was like, I can do it. We can do this report for you. And basically, so she gave me her bill, but she was reluctant at first. She was like, well, let me just think about it. I was like, if I were to tell you right now, I was like, what is stopping you right now from giving me the bill? And she's like, and I told her the benefits. I was like, I help homeowners save 40% on their monthly utility bill. You can actually get a lower bill, and actually we take away your bill. You get and you'll have a lower bill. And she said, I said, so what's stopping you from giving your bill now? And she just gave me her bill. She's like, I like what I'm already hearing because you already explained it to me. So she gave me her bill. I scanned it into the computer, got the bill, and I scheduled it. I got that with Jabari, but what I was saying is I'm just grateful. So I got that at 12 o'clock today on dot. So yeah.
Real quick, and I appreciate that. That's fortunate is in the follow up, and I'm gonna just say right now that's the fact that you're using the Grant Cardone information that you're using. That's a question that you never would have had in your arsenal. You know what I'm saying? And so when you put the onus on a person to answer a question, and at that point in time they get a chance to think about what you just asked them. It puts them in a position where they have to give you a real good reason why they're not giving you a business because it makes the bill and it makes common sense. And so, guys, also when it comes to um, mentors, again, I want to make sure you guys are using the mentors we have in the group. One, because I know exactly what type of quality, of mentorship that you're going to get. And again, nothing against anybody in the company. I have experiences with a lot of people already, and I have a book of feedback that I do have. And if you need a mentor, right, reach out to us and ask us who we suggest. Okay, because a lot of you guys are using mentors that are overly busy, overly booked, and when a person has that type of volume, a lot of things get dropped, through the cracks along the way. So, like I said, here we have some excellent, mentors here. Again, starting with Idris, we have Wendy, who's on the line. I told you talk to you about today. We have Dennis Macy, who's over on the East Coast as well. Hans is a really good mentor as well that I prefer after that. So make sure you do your business in house first. Here because again, I know we have Alfonso. I know we have our hands on. We have solar pros who are good here. And I'm gonna just tell you, you want to make sure you take a person who you know for a fact is going to give you the time of day. They're going to make sure that you're going to be learning what you need to learn, and they're not going to do it just because they have to. They're going to do it because they want to, and that's the thing I love about our mentors and coaches. So again, if anything happens based on you selecting a mentor without counseling and coaching, guys, that's on you. Right? If you get advice and we suggest somebody and it happens, that's on us. Okay. But always coach and counsel before you pick a mentor because remember, you're not just making a decision for you, you're making a decision for that homeowner. And that the experience that homeowner is about to get is going to be your brand. So if it's a bad experience, you're going to have a bad brand. And when they have a bad experience, guess what you don't have? Referrals. Okay. And so again, contact your senior partner. It's not that hard. I tell you guys a coaching counsel, seek coaching and counseling on every decision because every decision that you make that's a bad decision will cost you tens of thousands and most of you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't see it now because you're not in this particular situation and environment. When you're making tens of thousands of dollars a month, you can say, you know what, man, I look back when I used to make them type of mistakes and I see why I didn't get to our goals faster. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make is not reaching out, asking those type of questions. Remember, you end up in life in direct proportion to the quality of questions that you ask yourself or other people. I'm never referring anybody to anybody without asking a question from my senior partner. Hey, who should I refer? It's a very, very important question. So make sure you guys are asking those questions. But great job on the referral, great job on the spot, getting the job done while you're getting the job done. You at work, clocked in, and you're in somebody's house that's got a roof on it. Shame on you if you don't talk about solar before you get out of there. So I commend you on that, bro, for sure. Angel,
Hi, great morning, everyone. Great morning, Mr. Bean.
Right?
I love everything that I'm hearing. I'm going after some grapes. So, um, before I get started, thank you, Mr. Bean, for the culture that you put in place in our company. In this company, we're the your company inside of the bigger company, right? And so I love what you have created here, everything from the culture to just everyday activities here that we can do to grow our business. And that's the reason why we don't really need to go any further for listening to other leaders or anybody else, because we have it right here. And just to share that culture, as being a beanie baby, right? I always do whatever you do, and so I've created that culture in my team as well. So shout out to Julie, shout out to Sabrina and Eddie. They are, leaders that are doing exactly what you are doing with their culture and their team. And to be honest, it's great what you've taught me where I teach them. And yes, of course, it's a lot of work in the beginning for anybody, right? That come in and don't know your culture, Mr. Bean. But now, after they've been here, I mean, literally, they're on their own. We plug in every single day, beginning of business, end of business. They let me know what's going on. They let me go know what they have for the day. They let me know what happened for the day at the end of the night, and that's it, right? And I love what you've been able to teach me, where now I have my little company inside of a company, right? And that's what you want to create for scalability, right? If you want to scale, is that system that you're teaching us. And that's the reason why I love when you set the GCU, and I want that blessing that you blessed me. I went from recruiting 2 to 3 to 16 in a month.
Mhm. Mhm.
16, right? And that's from the GCU program. And a lot of times I was always kicking and screaming going into some things. And I did with that Grant Cardone, but you gave us an incentive, and I took that incentive because mentorship from you is always, right, an incentive for me. That went all the way back to I shared a story about I actually recruited a person because I shared the story of how I didn't have your mentorship back in Organic Gold.
Mhm.
And one day you said at one of the training events, you said you will get an hour with me of lunch today because we're doing a calling party if you sell the most boxes of coffee. Man, I got on that phone and I was like, hey, I need to get this mentorship. What can you do? I didn't even ask, what can you do for me? How many boxes can you give me? And that was my 1 minute pitch to everyone. I'm like, what's the amount? Okay, got it. I gotta go to another call. And so I called everybody, I called family. There were like 10 boxes, 5 boxes. I was like, all right, cool. So I got 31 boxes in 45 minutes, and I won that event, and I was like, that was history after that. Now you couldn't pull me off of you at all.
You know, my wife listens to you, right? She's like, she said, what? I said,
Yes, 31 boxes of
oh,
coffee in
man.
45 minutes.
Oh, hey,
And I
look.
was like, wow. And not only that, but I got to bring a friend. And when he came, he was like, thank you for sharing. Like, you were allowed to bring me to sit with Mr. Bean. And it was just an amazing time for both of us.
Yeah.
But I do want to share the wins for this week. And the lady that I told the story to, she's like, I gotta be with you. If you can sell 31 boxes in 45 minutes, you're the person I need. I was like, okay.
Right.
And not only that, but Tammy, she got on the phone with you and she was blown away. So, on top of that. And so, having that type of mentorship was what she was looking for too. So, but the wins for this week is, sometimes you go to the same events and you think that you're not going to meet or do the same things, and you're not going to think that it's going to be a difference. Well, I had a choice to go to an event, and as anybody human, like, oh, I've been to this event like every single month. I don't think I'm going to meet anybody new, right? And so I was like contemplating whether to go or not. And I said, you know what? Let's just go. And guess what? Everybody that showed up was new, right? So when you feel like you don't want to do something, do it anyways. Because that's where that's basically your devil telling you not to go somewhere where that's the fruit of your labor. So I went there, everybody was new, and I got two people that are banging on my door to sit down to get started in solar. They're like, hey, they were trying to ask me questions there, and I was like, wait, let's not talk about it here. Let's book a one-on-one so we can really have a conversation, because people were talking, people were trying to announce stuff, and they're trying to ask me about solar there. And I was like, let's book a one-on-one so I can concentrate on you. And so I have a couple of bookings, not just for the partners, but then for solar as well. But my main thing, that my aha moment this week was, I'm I'm sleeping on the alkaline, right? So I was like, wait a minute. So I had an opening. I was like, coffee, alkaline? Hey, I'm good at this. Why am I not concentrating on the alkaline? Because remember, in coffee, I used to go business to business and add like gas stations, alkaline sales water. And I'm like, I need to go to business and business and get these alkalines in there. So this week, I actually studied Mrs. Bean's, all of the videos, and I'm ready to rock and roll to go to business with this alkaline sales.
All right. Well, first and foremost, happy belated birthday. And I know you probably spent a year and telling anybody about it, 1 year younger. Good for you, right? But procrastination, guys, let me just tell y'all something. This and self-sabotage. It's happening to everybody. It's just some people who are extremely successful, it still happens to them. It just happens to them on a smaller level, less frequent level. But you're going to always be put in a situation where you're going to have to you want to talk yourself out of something, right? And so, like you said, that's when you do it and you get it done right away, even when you don't want to do it. It's like waking up wanting to work out in the morning. Me and Dr. Arlene talk about that on a regular basis. You wake up, don't want to go to the gym, wake up, don't want to work out, and you just get up, feet hit the floor, and you go straight to the gym, because once you get to the gym, you know you got to work out. And so put yourself in your position. If that's what you do, do that. Make sure you're doing it, because what they call it procrastination. That's the biggest nation of any and every nation, and we've all resided there at one point in time. So when you don't want to do it, ask yourself, is this going to get me, is not doing this is going to get me closer to my goals or further away from it? If not going to the gym is going to get me closer to losing 15 more pounds or further away from it. If not making this phone call going to get me close to that one more deal that I need or further away from it. And so you start asking yourself the questions. Remember, start talking to yourself, asking yourself those questions, and you give yourself the right answer. And mentorship is always the key, guys. Always find a person who's in the company who has what you have, and really can get you to that goal, earn that mentorship, and then go out there and say thank you by doing 100% of everything that they teach you. When you look at coaching and mentoring, you look at leadership and the culture. As the culture doesn't start with me. And everybody looks at me and says, you know what, they're going to make an excuse on why everything works for me, and make an excuse for them and why everything wouldn't work for them. Culture starts in the middle, and then it creeps down into the rest of the organization. So when I find high quality people that are doing what I teach, when I find high quality people who are building the way I build, and I can develop those individuals, and then I make that look appealing, I make that look sexy, I make that look lucrative, I make that look successful, and all of a sudden they're doing it. They're the people who people are looking at. They're looking at, the people who are coming from my tree, right? And so they're looking and saying, what type of fruit is he bearing? And oh, if I can help, Sabrina be successful, oh, you know what, he can help me. If he can help Sabrina be successful, he can help me. If he can help Victoria be successful, he can help me. Right? Well, oh my God, he didn't. and Tamika quit, Tanya quit. You know, I'm not joining them, right? So they're looking at the people who are in your team. They're not looking at you, okay? And so that keep that in mind. That's why you want to make sure when people get started with you, one, they're starting with somebody who's a professional. They're starting with somebody who's not perfect, but somebody who strives for excellence. They strive that there was somebody who's on purpose with how they build their business and can actually teach them how to get from point A to point Z. And that's important. Somebody who's plugging in all the time. That's important. And so when I'm having a conversation and I said this individual, when I do the edification is always genuine. Right. And so when I talk about not because Idris is on the call just because it was the most recent thing, I'm telling the lady why Idris is our number one mentor in the group at this moment. And so I'm giving her all the attributes, right? And I'm telling her about the resume that he's creating, and then the portfolio over here that he's creating of people who have gotten the deal done and people who actually are becoming mentors based on his mentorship. And so she's no longer listening to me as a VP. She's looking at the resume saying, well, wow, he has people like that. Like Idris in his portfolio, I want to be a part of that portfolio. I want to be connected to that individual. So, well, that's important. And so that GCU guys, I'm just telling you, Angel did have a almost overnight transformation. Went from one of the quietest people in the group, and to the one of the people who do the most presentations, per day. She can do anywhere from 6 to 8 per day, and so she's like a little machine. And so at the end of the day, that comes from confidence, and you have the information. When you have the information, you have confidence. When you're uninformed, you don't. Confuse people, say absolutely nothing. Empowered people, they go out there and say everything. Right? You can't stop them at that point. So, with that said, appreciate you, Angel. All right, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. We got a couple more. We'll stop at Kyrie, but we got Anthony, and we got Sarah, and then we got Kyrie.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bean. I love this call. I love coming on here every Saturday. It's great. I get to learn a lot. Learned some great things this morning again. I get on the Cardone call every morning. I take stuff from that too. This last week, I had zero bills, and I listened to that Idris Alaka training that he had on Saturday. I went out and I said, I need to get me some bills and find a good mentor. Then I reached out to Mr. Bean and he recommended Mr. Alaka. So I went out and I said, well, okay, let me get some bills now. I went out this week and I got about 8 electric bills, and we did one presentation, and I got 4 more already scheduled for next week, and one for the 30th, which is a follow up, and one for the 25th of October. So the training is here. I mean, I've been with another company before that had no training, no value. Here, I'm plugged into a great system, this follow system, and it's really working really well. So that was my wins this week. I focused on getting bills. I've been in the company 2.5 months. I was focused on building and getting, builders, which I'm still doing simultaneously. But this week I locked my mind into getting bills. It's time to get on the presentations and learn from a really great mentor, which is Idris. And so far it's been really good. And I'm going to continue to do that. So it's been a really great week, and I'm going to keep building on getting bills and simultaneously building my team to get to. I'm only a few away from build the 500, so it's a great thing. Thank you.
No problem. I appreciate you. And that's you talking about coming in. This is good stuff. First of all, one, remember you built your team. You start building first. And last week we talked about Portier and that 973 kilowatt commercial deal. That's on the team, right? That's a beautiful thing. So then I'm looking here. I see Tanya on here. Hey Tanya, how you doing? So Tanya's on here again. Hey. And so you got now you have your people here being empowered, right? And so this is a beautiful thing. Now you get a chance because you're building it the same way I built it. You know what I mean? And so you got people who come in and they're bringing deals to the table. They're killing it automatically. Like literally. We had a guy, Dennis Macy's, who's on the East Coast. I told you all about the story. This is a story that you can use. Okay, here's news you can use. The man had 2 deals on the table in his company that hadn't closed, and he couldn't transition to build on an Encore Solar unless he closed those deals or gave them away. He let the company keep the 2 deals that hadn't closed. They were set for closings, right? he gave them away. He said, look, y'all keep them, just give me an email, release me, and and we're good to go. And so, and walking through the door, 22 kilowatt system deal right out the gate. He let two go and got a 22 kilowatt system deal immediately when he walked in. So he came in, boom, building and building his portfolio of solar customers like he's always done before here. So if you're a builder, build and then do solar. If you're a solar salesperson, sell solar and build while you're selling your solar. All right. Remember, I told you earlier, do what you do best. Do what fits you and your personality. Don't get caught up and distracted by all that's going on around you. Okay. When you go to sleep at night, know you're going to sleep at night as you yourself, as opposed to not trying to be somebody else, because that'll mess you up. That'll set you back. Okay. And so I don't feel bad about not doing solar, but I do feel like, but it is conscious on me to make sure I'm always communicating with people that I am solar. So if you need solar, you need to be talking to me. And so it'll happen. It'll come through. I'm gonna knock out a bunch of deals at some point in time. But right now, I have over 1,000 people in my network in the company. So I ain't really complaining. Right. So do you, okay? Because you do you better than anybody else. But I appreciate that, because again, it's just another talking point, another topic, at hand that you were able to give me to say something about. So I appreciate you. So Sarah, Miss George, welcome.
Hi guys. Thank you for letting me speak, Mr. Bean. I've gotten a lot of notes for today. What I just wanted to say was two things that you said really stuck out to me, because I personally experienced it in my week. Was that purpose builds business and you deserve that no. So when you said purpose builds business, it made me think that on Monday I had an affiliate who came on and they want to be a builder, but they don't have the money. And so then that was the first day in build where I worked literally from 8 a.m. to like 8 p.m. without really taking a huge break or anything. And I really thought, oh my goodness, if you really want to get going and be motivated to continue working, get people under you, because then you're like, I can't fail them. And then when you said you deserve that no, it made me think on Monday also, I went to the door to door training. And then what they showed was a video from the back office. It's called The Presentation by Ricardo Ritchie. And when I tell you that thing is like so amazing, oh my goodness, like it's built for getting you ready to like close deals as a mentor, but you can put it towards door knocking and cold calling. And it tells you how to like set the purpose of the meeting, how to get people into the meeting, and how to get them to pre-agree to make a decision at the meeting. Because he was basically like, get them to agree to say yes or no at the end. And he was like, you got to be willing to walk away from some deals. Like he said, how at the beginning he's walked into deals, they don't agree to make a decision there, then he'll walk away from the deal. And he's seen people come back. And then I just had one more thing to share. Was I was watching a Bible video earlier this week. And if you don't believe in God, that's fine. I'm going to say God because I believe in God. Just replace it with whatever you believe in. But what I was listening to, she said, your role is trust, effort, faith, and obedience. Do the work. And God's role is outcome, results, and open doors. So literally, don't stress about the results because that's not even your role. All you have to do is have faith, trust, put in the effort, put in the work, and eventually it's going to show up. It may not show up how you think it is, but it's going to show up because all things work for the good of those who love and believe whatever you believe. But yeah, that's what I want to share.
No problem. Awesome. But first of all, one, if you can, please put the name of that book in there again, or the name of the training in the book again. That way they can go back and watch that training and also go back and look up that book. And like I said, when you talk about your business partners, when you look at how I actually look at it, and how a lot of people look at it, um, first of all, the millionaire next door says that everybody that became a millionaire, a 7, 8, 9 figure earner, they had one thing in common, one thing only. They all had a spiritual connection. And that connection spiritually was with different beliefs in spirituality, but they had a spiritual connection nonetheless. And so that's why you have some people who use the word, like for me, I say universe. But let's just say, universe and your situation is God. So if you believe in God, then understand that God is your business partner. And so he's giving you everything you need, everything that requires you to be successful. And when you profit, you should pay him. That's why they call it 10% tithes. And so you don't have to pay it directly to the church. You can pay it to the community and go do great things with it. But again, that's your partner. So, pay it forward. And the more and more you pay it forward, the more and more it grows. So again, it's not about Christianity or anything like that. It's just about you and that spiritual tie that you have, that spiritual connection that you have, and what governs that connection when it comes to you and that business partner, the ultimate business partner. All right, so huge stuff. And just going back, like you said, I appreciate you picking up the nugget and owning the nose. Like, 'cause that's the thing. You have people who they get
May
hit
I
with a
please have your phone?
no, and when they take that no, when they hit that, they get that no wipes them out because they had a one no dream, or they had a two no dream, or they had a big no dream. And when you get that no and it takes you, I just mean that you didn't have a dream big enough to withstand it. Yeah, you wasn't fortified. You didn't have when you actually have when a person can come shake your tree and say, you know what, you just told somebody I'm about to make $100,000 a month, like Jeremy did. And a person can come and say, you'll never make $100,000 a month. Solar sucks. And the way you sell this water, it sucks too. And like all of a sudden you go home and like, you know what, can I really make $100,000? And you start second guessing yourself. And I'm using Jeremy because I know for a fact you can't do that to him. You can't shake his tree. He gets no's on the chin on a regular basis, but he gets a whole lot more yeses than most people because he takes a whole lot more no's and learns from them. He's been doing it for years as an entrepreneur. So that's why I said he has an eyesight rule. That's why I said if you do not want to buy something, don't be on the street he's working on. He'll stop cutting a yard to talk to you. That's a problem. That's a problem for people who don't want to be pressured. I'm just saying, you see him, just know, run. Like go. Dun, 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 run. Now just get out of that. And that's the type of person you want to be, right? You want to be that individual where if a person don't want to get started in my presentation, they better not show up. Like if you don't want people to be in your business, don't invite people to my presentation because they're gonna get in at some point in time. They have to. And that's the way I see it. How you see it when you present, I don't know. But good luck for anybody sitting in my audience. You got a bona fide problem. I'm going to give you nightmares because now you got to think about all the money you're about to miss. And now you got to, now whoever invited you to this call, you got to watch their social media feed, another win, another satisfied customer. Oh, just ranked up to build a 500. Oh, just ranked up to build a 1,000. Oh, two more customers, two more sales. Now all of a sudden, you're going to call that person back because that presentation was cold, but that three-way was cold, but don't get on three-way with me. I'm just telling you, that's how you have to be 100%. If you don't want to actually do the deal, don't get on a deal, a presentation with Idris. If you don't want to buy solar, do not get on that mentorship presentation. If you don't want to sell solar, do not put people on a presentation with Idris. So that's kind of how it's gotta be, right? I'm just saying. So that's what take them no's personal. When you get a no, figure it out. Always reflect. What happened? What could I have done different? Type of questions. What could I have done better? What shouldn't I have done? What and ask those questions. Again, asking yourself questions is again another form of talking to yourself. All right. And when you ask yourself a question, guess what you always get? An honest answer. That's why most of y'all don't talk to yourself because you don't know that dialogue that come back to you, you ain't ready for it. So you can't lie to yourself. All right, Mr. Hannah, Mr. Fantastic. I'm gonna beat you to it today.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I got it,
Oh
Idris.
man,
I got it.
you got me. You got me. I couldn't get off mute quick enough. That's what it was. That's what it was. But I tell you what, I got so much from everybody on this call. And first I'm going to say, and it ties in with Mr. Fantastic. I'm going to say when Coffee mentioned about no matter what kind of week you had, it was a fantastic week. I had a fantastic week, which I had to change my verbiage. It wasn't a bad week, but what happened was I myself got thrown for a little bit of a loop from a prior commitment that took me on the road, which jacked me up a bit with my activity because I had to literally be on the road and in. And at first I was extremely disappointed because I got back into living by my calendar. I forgot to update my calendar and put that on the calendar. But nonetheless, it was a fantastic week. I had to basically just spot check in, and I tell you what, that's when you know you are in this, because when you're pulled away from whatever the activity you need to do to produce and be productive in this space, and you're feeling, you go through a lot of emotions. You know what I mean? So it was just one of those things. But I tell you, every one of y'all took a lot of notes here. Everyone's input today really, really just lifted me up. I would say a great deal, because I wasn't feeling down, but again, the activity, because you haven't heard not one three-way call from me these past few days, and all just the activity. So I
All
just
right.
and
All right.
this call is the injection that I needed. But I'm gonna go fine tune my calendar too, because I was thinking of all kind of things when Millionaire Mentor call, when they were saying time blocks. This, and I thought I did everything. Then I fumbled the ball, but I did have to keep a commitment, which is what we want to do as people. So, and for me personally speaking, last but not least, even this, I would say I'm on the path, and you get things thrown in your path. That was for me is more like confirmation, because when you set your mind to do something, you're gonna always get hit from the blind side. Whatever the case, it could be the small, or it could be massive. And I just had, and this call literally reminded me of that. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, my calendar's right. And thank goodness, I didn't let nothing get in the way of our mentor factory. I'm already all set for that. Get in Thursday afternoon, so I won't be able in the morning. But no, all those prior commitments, and I'm going through I'm going through my calendar thoroughly, and but this is just something that was from a few months prior. But I want to thank everybody's input on this call. And thank you, Mr. Bean, for your leadership. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the, just like, again, once, as everybody said, I'm gonna echo everybody, the culture that you have here and created. And one thing I do love is that when I'm these wins that I'm seeing, and I'm like, I feel great when I'm seeing everyone's wins, because there's no jealousy. It's because, like I said, even when you get thrown off, it's more of encouragement. You know what I mean? It's more of encouragement. I get those dings on my phone. My WhatsApp is blowing up, and another deal, this, that, or the other. Or man, listen. So, but I'm like I said, I'm good now. I'm fantastic. Still fantastic. But once again, man, just thank you, man. Like I said, this was a very necessary call, and I'm back on my calendar straight right about now.
There you go.
Thank
Well,
you.
guys, when you talk about the calendar, again, go get you a calendar. A month
Can't hear
has
you, bro.
run.
Can't hear you. I think you
Can you
sound
hear
far away. Oh,
can you hear me? Okay.
yeah, I hear you.
All right. So go get you a 2025 calendar, guys. This one right here starts in October. And so you want get it to where it opens up. Let me see here. Uh, right
Your
here.
hol- your hologram is gone, Mr. Van. Your hologram.
Background.
Okay.
You got
Well,
that hologram life.
let me see here. Hold on one second. Yeah. So it's not gonna let me do it. Okay, but what you want to do is you want to have a month at a glance calendar, or get your calendar that when you open it all the way up, you have the whole entire month, on those two pages, right? Because this is actually going to be a part of my training when I get to um, California. This is a part of my segment since Coffee brought it up this morning, and then you just reiterated it. Make sure you get your calendar right now, because I'm going to be doing that calendar training. Again, it starts. The calendar should start in October. Like this one, I just went and bought a brand new one for training purposes. Yesterday, but I'm going to show you guys how to blueprint. We talk about blueprint for builders, how to really blueprint income. How my wife and I got to $500,000 a year in coffee, and how we just built that thing up. I'm going to show y'all and show the rest of the world what we do. I'm going to show the rest of the world this formula, and it's going to start with this calendar. Okay. So that's extremely important. Open it up, because that's what you're going to be drawing your circles on. That's what you're going to be blueprinting and mapping out your work on. That's what you're going to be having communication and conversation with, because when you have a calendar, that calendar talks to you, and it tells you if you're underachieving, if you're underperforming, if you're underdeveloping. It tells you if you're underworking. it gives you 100% of everything you need to know about who you are and what your business looks like, the health of your business, the whole entire layout of it. So make sure you guys go get that calendar. And when I do that training for the company first, then I'm gonna come back and make sure you guys who don't get a chance to make it to the event, you guys, I'll make sure I do it for you guys as well. Speaking of events, as we wrap up, because we definitely after the hour, uh, great content today. And again, this is what we do. But Saturday, we're going to do Saturday, November 2nd in Houston. We have a huge event in Houston. And that event, what's going to happen is going to be done a little different this time. First, at 10 o'clock in the morning, is going to be a presentation, normal presentation, and we're going to kill it. Yeah, and that's basically VIP, invites to everybody who you invite out on that same day at 12 o'clock p.m. That at noon, we're going to have a mixer. And that mixer is going to be a mixer of people in the real estate industry, in the home essentials industry, right? And so we're going to have at 12 o'clock from 12 to 2, I'm going to do a 5 to 10 minute presentation conversation in front of a room of people who are standing up, networking from who are plumbers, electricians, roofers, builders, make ready people, whatever it is, landscapers, all the whole. You'll see a banner that's going to be put out, and this is being put one on the Eventbrite already, but that's going to be something that we want to make sure we promote and we get people to. So when we had a networking moment, and we got all these people who have businesses that are associated with roofs in that building, and they get a chance to network with other people who are coming there, they got to sit there and watch me communicate with them about solar, security, and water. And so after they do that, knock yourself out. You can network, talk to whoever you want to talk to. That's fine. It's free. Come on into this event, enjoy yourself. But we're going to be collecting cards, names, everything, so we can have our networking event pay off, and we're bringing professionals in. So we'll monitor that, blow that up, and create a model around it to where we'll actually be able to have you guys do the same exact thing in your markets, or we even travel to your markets depending on how fast your groups are growing, and do it with you guys. Right. So that's going to be real big. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. But right now, build up toward the event in California. If you haven't got the tickets and you plan on being there, be there. Get there, be there, enjoy the event. Make sure people are being promoted to go to the event. Make sure even if you're not going, uh, I do know this: when people don't go to certain events for whatever reason, it don't matter what the reason is, you tend not to promote. It's natural because you don't want to pretend something. You don't want to promote something you're not participating in. Okay. But remember, you participated in the enrollment of that individual, which means that you must also participate in the success of that individual. So it's not about you and what you're about to do. It's about you suggesting that person do what they need to do for their businesses. Okay. So whether you got to be there because you can't get off of work, or you got to be at a funeral, or you got wherever it is, you can't go for whatever reason, the money tight, it's none of their business why you can't go, but it's their business that they do. So promote, because again, their business and sometimes their financial lives depend on it. So don't be selfish. Go out there and do the uncomfortable and get people to where they need to be for them, because they gave you their goals and the things they want to achieve when they signed up with you and paid that $200. Make sure you follow through. Remember, the fortune in the future is in the follow up, but your brand and your legacy is in the follow through. Okay. A person just that when they get started, the job is not over. Making sure they get what they came for, that's when you finish the job. Make sure they're on the calls, on the trainings. They make sure they're on these calls right here. If you're not promoting these calls, what you're telling the person is, I hope you fail. Thanks for the $200. Okay. I'm gonna keep it real with you 100% of the time. Yeah. Even my solar pros. Again, I let them all know, be here. Let me see you. You know what I'm saying? Because if I can see you, and I can refer you. If I know you plugging in, you tired of hearing Idris's name, or you tired of hearing Dennis's name, well, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who I see them all the time. I know they're accountable all the time. I know I can reach them all the time. I know they're team players all the time, as mentors. So that's who's going to get the shine. That's we always point the needle in the direction of the people who are serving the family. Okay, so and you do the same thing. I suggest y'all do the same exact thing. Your groups are growing, and just notice there's a group of mentors that are going to have favor, and favor is not fair. Favor is deserved. Okay, so don't be mad at somebody else's favor because they earned it. Take a look in the mirror and do what's required because that's exactly what they did. So what was the? There are 2 rooms on the room left. Got 185 left. Okay, and so I just got word that all the rooms are gone except for 2 on that room block. So you have anybody who's wanting to buy it, the $185 a night right now, there are only 2 rooms left on that room block. After that, there is no squeezing in and no extra room. So make sure if somebody on your team is going, make sure that they know about it and just inspect what you expect. Let everybody know on your team anyway, just in case somebody who's on your team didn't get a room and you thought they did. So on behalf of myself, guys, this Bean and the Foresight family, it's been a great weekend. I'm glad you guys were here to share this opportunity with us. Get everybody, tag all your people on who were not here on the training and Facebook so they can go back and watch it, on their own accord because it is 24 hours on demand. So as
Mr. Bean,
Mr. Bean. Oh,
Bean, real quick before you hop out, can you please share with the new people what the criteria is to be able to have access to the Builders Lounge?
Oh, yeah. The Builders Lounge. Oh, yeah, the Builders Lounge, guys. Again, just basically have a Builders pack and make sure that you are active on the $99 a month membership. Unless you actually have 4, you're not paying anymore. Make sure you the 199 Builders pack and $99 a month. Is what you actually need to be a part of the Builders VIP Lounge. Again, basically, you're already getting rewarded for something that you should already be doing anyway. Okay. So, Angel, you have one last thing before I go?
yeah. Mr. Bean, Brenda asked, do we have presentation calls today?
A matter of fact, 12, 2, and 4. Yeah, so Omi, and I was actually about to say that too. Ain't 12, 2, and 4. I'm glad you caught that. 12, 2, and 4. There'll be presentation calls again today, lined up. Boom, boom, boom. All right. All right. So let's go out
Thank
there,
you,
guys,
sir.
and know our whys and go out there and do something about it. So catch you guys next week. Same time, same line, more people. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Thank you guys. You have a good one.